Hello, everyone. I am typing something in. Don't mind my hair. It's been one of those days. I'll explain a little bit about what's going on with me so you all will know. Welcome to Tracy's Week in Review. As you can see, I'm solo today, which that's normally the plan, but uh, I'm glad that you're here. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. At least if I'm going to look. Oh, hold on a second here. Okay, so let's see. Let's try this again. Okay. Nope. We're just not going to have a good time at this. Just looking wild out here. But anyway, I hope everyone is having a good day. I hope this week is going to be a fantastic week. Remember, I got some bills to pay before we get started, and I'll tell you what we're going to talk about tonight. Let's see. Please subscribe to this lovely channel. We are at 362. I think I want to say 362, but that's not right. I'm going to see how, since there's not many watching right now, I'm going to cheat and go over here and see how many we actually have. Okay, let's see. I am really okay. Trying to see. We have 361 subscribers. So that's two more. So we picked up two from last night because we had 359 last night. No, 360. So we picked up one. But we'd love to pick you up as a subscriber to the channel. Remember, our overall goal is 1,000. We're doing pretty good. It seems like we're picking up one a week, but I want to accelerate that so we can get to 1,000 as fast as possible. You can support me on Patreon. Patreon support starts at $2 per month. That is 50 cents a week. Support me at the official merchandise store. There will be a t-shirt contest giveaway at the end of somewhere in this episode. We will have a t-shirt giveaway contest. I did not do a show Saturday afternoon because I had a whole lot of stuff, and I'm going to tell you all about it because I got to get this out. I'm just like, I can't not believe the stuff that's happened to me, but we will have a t-shirt giveaway this episode. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Rumble. Blue Sky, you can also follow us at. Mark your calendars on Friday, May the 2nd, 2025 at 8 p.m. I am sponsoring a channel fundraiser. My goal is to raise $700 because StreamYard has increased its costs and I can no longer afford to pay for it out of pocket. So I am sponsoring a channel fundraiser. I want to raise $600 for the channel, the other $100 remaining for the website to come back. Please consider supporting. There is the link there at the end. But tune in that night because I plan on having some special guests. Help us to get to 50 likes and 35 shares. If you're watching this, you can definitely like and hit that subscribe button. Like, share, comment, subscribe, all those good things. So on with the show, and welcome, Rude by the Way MC. I've had a day. So it started out with heavy rain on Friday, and I mean it was pouring down raining, and I kept hearing this dripping sound coming from my basement. And I was like, well, what is that coming from my basement? I don't know what it is. And I go peek downstairs and there's water. Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, my basement is flooded with water. And so, of course, I start going into panic mode, kind of getting estimates up to $1,800, $1,900, which of course I don't have. But a lot of people said, oh no, you can get a water pump. You can do this yourself. And I'm like, okay, I'm a DIYer. I can do this. So I look on a couple of corporate websites, Lowe's, Home Depot. Nobody has a water pump available, or water sump pump. I think that's what they're called, water sump pumps. So I'm just like in a complete panic. And I'm still kind of panicking because in the meantime, I decide, I'm just going to forget about this. I'm just going to get a sump pump later on. Somebody will have one. I'll call a couple places. I did find a place that like rents it for like $200 a day. It won't take that long. So it end up being like maybe $150 for me to pump out the water. It's still there. Water, it's still there because I can't get it out. I can't go down there, but I'm still planning on renting it. However, I decided, okay, I'm going to just kind of take my mind off that because there's nothing I can do. I could cry all day and nothing's going to change. So I take my clothes to the dryer because I have a washer dryer set, but my dryer's been stopped working because I don't have enough money to get a new dryer. So I take my clothes, put them in a bag, take them to the dryer. On my way back, I hit a pothole and my tire explodes. Yep. So I'm thinking, okay, add-on number 2. So now I have a spare tire. So I'm like, okay, I got a spare. That's good. So I'm thinking, oh, it's going to be about $20, maybe $30 to get replaced, to put the spare on. Nope, $70. And keep in mind, I have not picked up any of my medications. So I still have some of my medications too I'm out of, but I'm going to call to see can they deliver those on Wednesday. Yeah, I've had a week. Yesterday was one of possibly the worst days I've ever had. I didn't realize how much I depended on my car. I mean, I hit that pothole like just boom. And I didn't realize because of the type of car I have. I have a 2017 Chevy Cruze. That it was going to take that much. Like I said, I just estimated maybe $30 max. Maybe that's what it would cost. Oh, no. He said 70. I'm like, are you kidding me? And that was the low one. I wanted to cry so badly, and tears would not come out of my eyes. And I'm at a point now that I'm just tired. I was just talking to my sister. I'm like, I'm just not in the mood. I'm not in the mood for any more bad news. But yeah, this show I'm going to be bringing some. But I'm just like, what else could happen? Like, what else? And I don't even want to answer that question because I have 1, 2, 3 doctor's appointments this week I have to cancel because I have no way to get there. But I'm going to be okay, right? And I think that's what I'm kind of holding on to is the fact that I know I'm going to be okay. But this kind of patch, first of all, they're first world problems, right? That's what I have, essentially first world problems. But it just all hit me. I'm like, I still got water in my basement. I still got it empty. I still got a spare that needs to be changed. Good news, bad news. I can like pump out the water, but I hope I don't get like sick from all of those things come. The remediation, not cheap. It's just not cheap. So just kind of, say a prayer for your girl because I really need them at this point. But I had to get that off of my chest because I just feel like I'm at the point I don't know if I can anymore. I'm just like, come on. Like I said, we'll get the pump, we'll get the water out the basement. It hasn't risen, so that part is good. There's no there's no it hasn't gotten to like the hot water heater. I'm still getting hot water. So it's just a little bit, it's not like a ton of water, but still just not the way I wanted the day to go. Yesterday was not a good day for me. But again, I hope you all are having a much better Sunday than I am. Well, today wasn't bad. It was just different because I sat around the house and I'm so used to, go to church, then come home, then do this podcast. So that kind of threw me off. YouTube church and in-person church are two different, totally different things. So that kind of took me off my loop. But like I said, I know I'm going to be okay, right? I know eventually I'm going to be okay. And with that, let's get on with the show. I want to talk about a couple things. One, I'm going to spend a whole lot of time about, I'm going to talk about the April 5th protest that took place yesterday. I'm going to talk about that in several types of ways. Talk about the White House's response to the protest yesterday, and why is it now time for third parties to step their game up. I'm going to talk about why did it have to come to this? How did it come to this? So essentially, this whole show is going to be about yesterday's protest. May the Lord watch over you, guide you, and protect you through troubled times and beyond. Thank you so much, Ruba. Yes, I receive that. I receive it. I receive it. I receive it. Thank you. So I want to talk about the protest in a larger frame. You know, like I said, I want to talk about, the overall energy around that, the disenergy around that, why it had to come to this, all those type of things. So let's start off with this. So yesterday, April the 5th, a hands-off protest took place. Now, hands-off is what the protest was called, but it was several groups. There was, I'm going to read off the list of organizations. Let me read off the list of organizations that took part of, and I'm typing it, of protests. Okay, so I'm actually typing this. Okay, the organizers of, well, they don't say who, but this is where Wikipedia comes in handy. Okay. Yeah, they just say including. Okay, so the NAACP, the Women's March, the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence, Black Lives Matter, the People's Union, the Never Trump Movement, Indivisible Movement, Working Families Party, the Political Revolution, the 50-51. It's like 50, then another 50, then the number one movement. Took part in this protest. Now, the big protest, I believe, was in Washington, D.C. And then there were protests in all 50 states. There was even a protest here in, well, obviously, if it was in all 50 states, it was in Indiana, but like 5,000 people showed up to Indianapolis. And for like a state that is predominantly red, that's an impressive number, right? So all these groups, they got together, they said, no, we're tired of this, hands off of cutting government jobs, hands off Social Security, hands off Medicare, hands off women's rights, et cetera, et cetera. And there was, I'm not going to say controversy around that, but there were several how can I say this? Concerns. That's how I'll say it. Concerns. There were several concerns about yesterday's protest. And we talked about this last week, where I talked about, there were a group of Black people on TikTok. And TikTok's not the end all be all, because there were definitely there were Black people yesterday at yesterday's protest. And good for them. They went, they let their voice be heard. But there was another contingent, at least if I'm just going off of TikTok, it's like, no, we're going to sit this one out. We're not going, we're not participating. We're tired of participating. All you do is you disregard Black people. And if we show up, it's going to be violence. Trump's going to implore martial law, which turns out he didn't, because he was competing in a golf tournament yesterday. But we're just going to sit this one out. So it wasn't a huge controversy, obviously, because it's estimated that 500,000 people took part in this protest. And it got me to thinking, I'm one, because if you don't know me, I will go to a good protest. It didn't take me too much to say, you know what? Let me get in these streets and start doing something, right? Let me make my voice heard. Let me show my frustration or my support of whatever it is that I'm protesting, whether it's Medicare for or rally, whether it's Medicare for all, whether it's expansion of the social safety net. I'm going to be out there making my voice heard. So I'm not afraid to stay away from a good protest. But it started me to thinking, and this came up actually 3 years ago when I did the Medicare for All protest. What happens next, right? So you're protesting and you're showing up. And this is a one-time event. I don't know if this is, according to what I read, this is a one-time event. What do you do afterwards, right? What's the plan afterwards? What is it that you're going to do? Are you mobilizing people? If anybody went to the protest yesterday, can you let me know? Was there like a call to action? Was there something that people were being asked to do except for speak up? Because there's one thing to speak up, which is what we all should do. But then there's another level to that, right? You got to take it to the next level. You can't just speak up and then that's all you do, right? You can't just protest and that's all you do. Whether it's mutual aid or whether it's, focusing on the community, whether it's whatever it is, there has to be some call to action. And when I was watching clips online, I just heard Trump terrible, which he is terrible. Don't get me wrong. Trump is terrible. But what are you calling the people that went to the protest to do? What is it that you want them to do? Do you want them to register to vote? Okay, that's one way of doing it. You could just say, hey, vote out the people that let these policies go and didn't say anything. That's one call to action. Are you calling people to, run for office as independents? That's another call to action, right? My concern was I didn't hear a specific call to action. I didn't hear what they wanted the audience or the protesters to do. I didn't hear, where is it that you go from here? And for this to just be a one time, I don't know if that's productive. And again, I'm not criticizing the overall effort, because it takes effort to organize a rally or a protest. I know I did it. It's a lot of different components. You got to think about security. You got to think about who to invite. You got to think about how you're going to deal with the press. You're going to have to deal with traffic and all those things. It takes a lot to plan and to organize a rally or protest. But there has to be something at the end. right? It can't just be let's get together and say Trump bad. We know he's bad, right? We know he's terrible. We know he's awful. What is it that you want me to do? I think, and I could be wrong in this, and I hope people talk back to me tonight because I'm just kind of talking. So you can give me your ideas about this. What is it? I think most people want to be told what they can do, right? And to just get it under the umbrella of organizing, I don't think that's a suitable thing, right? I think you give them an action. Say, hey, don't vote for Republicans or Democrats, because I'm going to say that now. Don't vote for the two-party system in the next election. Was that going to happen with groups like the NAACP yesterday? No. They're so far with the Democrat Party that wasn't going to happen. But maybe, and I'm not a part of the two-party system. Maybe they could have said, hey, remember this in 2026. Okay, that's an action. That's something specific that you can tell people to do. Or you could tell people, hey, run for city council. Because if you know anything about government is most impactful at the local level. So telling the people who, protested and organized this event, or to tell those who attended the event, hey, run for local office. Well, now you have something, right? Because you're giving people something tangible they could do. Or you could have said, start mutual aid projects. That's something that everybody can do, right? I wish I had heard more of it. I really do, because I think a big, huge component of that was missing. I'm trying to read here. Do they expect more? But they had, of course, I know they had Indianapolis, Indiana, but they listed Fort Wayne. So it was one in, like I said, every state. And I didn't realize this was an international protest. There were protests being held in Berlin, Frankfurt, Germany, Lisbon, Paris, London, Ottawa, although Canada. It's not the United States. But I don't really think of Canada as like a foreign country. I don't know why, because it's probably so close. So I'm trying Arizona, California, Colorado, Delaware, In Lafayette, Indiana, though, there was a man in a Trump shirt exited his vehicle as protesters crossed the road. The man scuffled with a protester being head-butted in the process before returning to his vehicle and grabbing a rifle. Police detained the man but released him, saying he did not point the gun at anybody, but he did get a gun because he's got to be white, because he got away with that. Yeah, it doesn't say anything about whether this is going to continue. And I'm trying to, okay, let me just do it like this. Will the hands-off protests continue? I'm going to say no. Boston had 100,000 protesters. Oh my goodness. So those are just my initial thoughts, and I really want you guys to kind of talk back to me today about this, because I said I'm going to just talk about this one thing and kind of break it down into several parts. I did not see anything about the protests continuing, but I'm going to ask Google, because Google knows everything. Will the hands-off protests continue? See, they just tell me, they said millions, but I thought it was like 500,000 attended. Um, okay. Okay, I'm trying. Um, it like I said, there's a lot of things on this protest that I wish were done. Of course, saying that as a person that didn't organize, didn't participate. Um, if I hadn't went around and had a flooded basement and had to look for a sump pump that turned in and then had to get my clothes dried, I probably would have been down there. I was at the women's march. No, I wasn't. I was at the pro-choice march that took place. So like I said, I'm always up for good protests. What I want again is I want what happens now. And so that's the big thing. Will this protest be successful? And I'm going to say I don't think so. And the reason that I say that, again, I'm not being a Debbie Downer. According to the National Post, millions of people showed up. I don't want people to stop going to protests. Go to protests. Keep protesting, right? Don't stop that just because I don't think yesterday's protest won't be successful in the long run. I don't think it'll be successful in the long run. One, because again, what's the call to action? Number two, Americans have the attention span of microwave popcorn. And those are essentially the two. You would have to keep, what I would hope would happen is the people that organize the hands off would, one, again, come up with what it is that they're asking people to do. And not speak in generalities, like be more vocal in your community. That's not an action plan. An action plan is, hey, when 2026 or when 2025 comes, start registering people now to register to vote. Call their doors, work for your candidate, become a candidate, those type of things. Come up with an action plan, right? I don't see this groups doing that. Now, maybe they're doing it behind the scenes, and just because I don't know it doesn't mean it's not happening, right? But I just can't see this successful for the second reason. I already said it, but I'm going to sound like a repeat record. Our attention span is just so short, right? I think by the end of the week, people are going to forget that this protest happened. Now, do I hope that's the case? No. I want people to remember, hey, I went to this because I'm tired. It's great that people are speaking up, but you have to have a plan. I'm going to keep emphasizing that today over and over and over and over again. You have to have a plan. There has to be a plan that's had. And unless you'll run into the trap of Trump bad. Again, we already know he's bad. We know that he's incompetent. We know he does have some cognitive issues of his. And I'm like, we're talking about Biden, but we forgot one. Oh, and I gotta say, allegedly, or in my opinion, because I can't afford lawsuits at this point. And what like I said, by this time next week, we won't even be talking about the protests. We'll just be talking about, oh, here comes a fire truck. We'll be talking about the idiocy things that Trump's doing. And what you can't hope is that he keeps doing bad things so that you can protest, right? Because we want this administration to stop doing these things like illegally firing federal workers sending people to Ecuadorian prisons. We want those, or Ecuadorian, or is it Venezuela? One of the two, either Venezuelan or Ecuadorian prisons. We want those things to stop. So you don't want to hope that he does something else that makes you protest, because you want these things to stop, right? So those are reasons I can't see success, but maybe it's not for me to see. Again, I'm kind of hoping somebody will comment on that. I don't see comments now, so I'm just going to assume you all agree with me. You probably don't, but that's okay. I'm just a person. I have my opinion. The administration's response to this was just, I mean, if you know that people, oh, I lost viewers. I didn't want to lose viewers. I always love to engage in conversations. But if you know people are protesting against your administration, now this is just common sense me, so pardon. You might want to listen to what they're saying. It doesn't mean you necessarily have to do those things, right? I mean, they closed off White House tours, which apparently that's a thing on Saturdays. And Trump was in a golf tournament. Like, didn't you criticize Obama or Biden? Which one he says plays too much golf, but apparently it's okay for him to do it. It was, I actually want to read the post or what they said. And I'm like, talk about not answering talk about not answering a question, right? I'm like, y'all did not even answer that question. Hold on, yeah, I gotta read this. Trump's response to hands-off protests. Oh, Kamala Harris said something yesterday. Okay. Okay. This is getting to be ridiculous. Now I can't find it. So essentially they ask him, hey, or ask his press secretary, let me do an informal poll here. Does his press secretary irk just me? Is it me by myself, or does that lady just irk? She irks me. Like the last one he had, she irked me, but this lady, oh, she irks my whole nerve. So their response was, we said we weren't gonna touch Medicaid, Medicare, and Social Security. Meanwhile, you're sponsoring legislation that targets Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security. You've already proven that like everything you say is a lie. So I just thought it was real, they probably should have went with, well, you can't exactly go no comment. Because if you have millions of people protesting across the country in all 50 states, that's going to be something you can't ignore, right? But how did it get to this point, right? How did it get to this point? What happened to put his type of regime in place in the first place? And the vote blue, no matter who crowd is probably going to turn out at this point, but oh well, you were never my supporter anyway. It's the ineffective, feckless Democratic Party. Their policies, or lack thereof, is what enabled Trump to be a thing in the first place. If you think about when he ran in 2016, it was, and remember, because Obama was going out of office, people voted for Obama twice, not once, but twice. And he handily won his reelection. No contest. It wasn't even close. So you can't say racism because he got a lot of white support. So Trump didn't get support because he was pro-white. Keep in mind, NAFTA had started under Bill Clinton, but jobs were going overseas. You had the bank collapse. You had the recession. You had the bank bailouts, etc. All of that stuff happened under Obama, and Trump really had what I call a fake populist message. And so people really wanted him because they were tired of the other side. Problem is, the other side never learned from that. They just kept coalescing to the right. They became more conservative, more in support of endless wars, more in support of the weaponization of the military, more willing to take billionaire money in their elections, more willing to ignore the working class. If you think about it, the Democrats used to be the party of the working class. That's what the Democratic Party used to be. They're not anymore. That part of the Democrats, it's gone. It does not exist anymore. That the working party of the Democrats, it's gone. It's just gone. And so you give rise to Trump when you keep moving more conservative and more conservative and more conservative, right? If you talk to a MAGA supporter, and I do sometimes, yes, I talk to MAGA supporters. How dare I? I have conversations, but they'll tell you we're against our money going for wars. Now, technically, we have modern monetary theory. We could pay for wars and still house Americans and all those things, but it's more of a moral thing for me. But it's my tax dollar paying for wars, same for them. They aren't for wars. They aren't they're for America first. Now, they probably are that way to a fault, i.e., they want immigrants to be thrown away, but not the companies that underpay illegals on purpose to downgrade salaries. But that's a whole thing. The lack of action from the Democratic Party is the reason that you have this, right? You have this because you had a whole party sit aside and we told them, right? We told them, hey, we're not going to vote for you if you keep supporting genocide. And this is when Biden was running, not when he fake dropped out knowing that his party was going to lose. His party, the Democrats, how can I say this? They snatch defeat from the jaws of victory every single time. We know, or the viewers of my show know, what it's going to take to make America great. America was never great, but to make America better. $27 minimum wage with considerations for those that live in higher income areas. Reparations for the descendants of African slaves. Medicare for all. Free college. Free childcare. Those are the things that it will take. And although I know the Democrats teeter-totter on some of those issues, it was always perceived that at least they would support the unions. No, they just, this current Democratic Party, it seems like to me, they're just watching the Democrats screw up so they can win in the midterms. And I don't like that. I don't like when you say, well, what could we do? We don't have power. You always have power. The people that showed up at the April 5th protest showed that people do have power. That power lies in the people's hands. So for you to tell me, Hakeem Jeffries, that you have no power, that's just, it's almost laughable. Because what you're really saying is, if we're not in charge, we're not going to do anything. problem is when you are in charge, you still don't do anything. So regardless of whether you are in charge or aren't in charge, it's not like the Democrats were out here not stopping the minimum wage just to go up to $15 an hour and then blame the parliamentarian when it happened. It's not like the Democrats didn't vote against railroad strikers that wanted to strike. And you wonder why people voted for Trump? I mean, I didn't. I voted for Dr. Cornel West. I sure did. That's who I voted for because the platform that was presented was the best one that I thought. But you wonder, I was going to say you wonder why you lose, but I think you know why you lose, right? I think you know why you lose and you're okay with losing. Because when you're losing and you're not the party in control, you can always say, help us fundraise to get more Democrats in office. You can always send out that letter, right? It's there. It's right there for the taking. And I think about the people who are showing up, and you say what you want about MAGA people or MAGA supporters, they know how to hold their legislators to task. They know how to put them to task. I don't know if the vote blue, no matter who crowd, knows how to put Democratic who they support to task. I don't know. I don't think it's in them. I don't think they've got it. But MAGA voters, the ones that I've seen that are disrupting town hall meetings, they know how to put MAGA legislators to task. They have been showing up to meetings and causing a ruckus, and I'm here for it. One, they're making them accountable. To the point where Republicans are like, oh, I don't really want to hold a town hall. Or if they hold one, well, it was the other side that showed up. Well, common sense tells you that everybody you represent isn't MAGA, right? Like we had Senator Jim Banks of Indiana, an HHS worker confronted him and said, I lost my job, but now all these people are going to be out of resources. He said, you probably deserved it. What? You said that? And he said, yeah, you coming across as a clown. One, his staffer stood there and said nothing. I'm like, y'all just going to let him say that? I guess if he's your boss, maybe. And he's issued no apology. And because he's in Indiana and the Indiana Democratic Party is feckless, cowards, and won't do anything, he'll probably get reelected. I mean, it was just one of the things I'm trying to get. I was trying to get the article up, but I forgot. YouTube's me, so I can't do that. Why am I trying to find this for y'all and I can't find it? But you have these things that are just it's two things are happening. And I talked about this last night on my Justice is Here podcast. That this is a unique time, right? I'm gonna find. Is he senator? Yeah, he won't. He says he will not apologize for speaking the truth. Yeah, tell somebody that they lost their job. You deserved it. That always goes over well. But because he's in Indiana, and like I said, the Indiana Democratic Party is a sorry bunch. They just sorry. They just are. Wow. And the comments on Facebook, none of them are positive. Um, and you have, like I said, you have two sets of people. You have the set of, and again, guys, come on in with the comments. I'm waiting on y'all comments. Y'all haven't commented yet. This is concerning. I see people watching, but nobody commented. You have Republicans that are mad at MAGA. You have Democrats that are mad at Democrats. I have never seen anything like this. I've never seen anything like this. And back to the protest yesterday, what would have been great, what would have been fantastic, is if some of the MAGA people had shown up and protested with the protesters and said, hey, Democrats and Republicans, all y'all gone. That would have been fundamentally, that would have brought a smile to my face, because that's what we need, right? We can't anymore with this, well, you got to vote for this person because they're less evil than that person. No. We need substantive change. And like I said, there were so many things about Stafford jumping. Like, Tracy, hey, Tobias. Tracy, I'm so confused about all of this. Honestly, thanks for this review. It's helping. Thank you. I'm glad it is, because there's so many sides to dissect, right? Because again, you got this side being mad at this side being mad at this side, but neither side is saying, hey, we being worked over by both of them. They're like, if MAGA could realize that they're being played in their face, and Democratic voters will realize they're being played in their face and not vote for either of them, we would be so much better off. We would be so much better off if they could just realize they're being played. You're being played. MAGA voters, you're being played. If you think that a billionaire actually cares about you, you're being played. If you cheer people being kidnapped by ICE, even though they have green cards and are essentially citizens, and you think that they're being flown to an Ecuadorian or Venezuelan prison is a good thing, and somehow you defend that, you're being played. Where is Trump's plan on the economy? I've heard nothing, literally nothing, about his plan to create American jobs. I've heard about tariffs that are going to destroy America, but I haven't heard anything about how you're going to bring back jobs. Where's it at? Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. I want to be wrong. I'm 100% correct about this administration. MAGA, you're being played. They playing in your face. Stop letting. Now, true, you do call your representatives to the carpet, and I'm going to give you credit for that, because you do something the other side definitely does not do. When you upset, you will show up to a town hall meeting and you will call them to give a report and to give account. Perfectly for that. But you need to take that a step up and start with the White House with President Elon Musk and Donald Trump. That's what you need to be doing, because they playing in your face. Literally. Democrats, y'all already know. Every week I'm telling y'all the Democratic Party is playing in your face. Not codifying Roe v. Wade when you had the chance. Saying the railroad workers they couldn't strike. Saying the $15 minimum wage, using the parliamentarian to not pass that. Not passing the voters' rights bill. Not passing the George Floyd Act. They playing in your face. Stop letting them play in your face. They're playing in your face. Stop it. That's the type of protest I want to see. That's the type of rising up I want to see. I want to see where people say, you know what? I'm tired of them playing in my face. I'm tired of being lied to. I'm tired of APAC big pharma, big oil, big tech controlling elections. I'm tired of it. I'm going to vote for Jim Jones. Well, no, not Jim Jones. Jim Johnson, who's Green Party or Justice for All Party. That's what I'm going to do because I can't trust you. And when the other side, your voice of opposition gets in, you're either quiet or you two are having lobster dinners. I mean, if you think that these Congress people hate each other, again, they playing in your face. They probably have their little wine meetups and their little fundraisers where, my colleague across the aisle. Thank goodness I haven't heard the word bipartisanship because I'm telling y'all, I was about ready to throw up. How many times? Sometimes you can't be bipartisan, right? And I'm going to say bipartisan because technically there's independents in Congress, i.e. Bernie Sanders. But yeah, my colleagues on the other side of the aisle, I hate him. I hate you. Let's go have dinner at 7. Yeah, what? You're not fooling me. You're not going to keep playing in my face. And if I have to scream and holler it every single week, that's what I will do. Is tell you, stop letting them play in your face. I said there was going to be a t-shirt contest. And here is what I will do. The first person that says hi, H-I, in my comment section will get a t-shirt. That's what I'll do. The first person that says hi in my comment section will get a t-shirt. That's what I'll do. I won't do any trivia. All you got to do is drop the word hi, H-I. So far, no takers. The t-shirts are really cute, though. First person that says hi in the comment section will get a t-shirt. Well, Tobias, take down my email and give me your address because I'm going to send you a t-shirt. There you go. Somebody's listening to me. Let me put it down here so you know it. Send yourself an email to that address and I will ship you a t-shirt. It'll take about a month because it's not like they sell like hotcakes and I got them just sitting here. I got to order them from the company. But you send your address to there and I'll make sure. And that's not right. That is not right. That is not right. That is not right. I'm going to type in the correct address. Why am I doing it? Wait a minute. I'm telling you, I know my own email address. That's my email address. So if you send your address to that email, I will drop you a t-shirt. Guys, I did not think I was going to start talking this long about a protest that, again, I'm going to kind of wrap up what I was talking about. I want to be wrong about yesterday's protest, right? I want to be so wrong. But this is following every protest that I've heard about. The Women's March, Fight for Our Rights, or the one against the gun rally. They're following the same pattern. See, you missed it. You missed it. Tobias was first. But I want to be so wrong. You all don't know how wrong I want to be that I don't think these protests will be impactful. We have to give people something to do. We just have to. We have to tell them, hey, this is the one thing we want you to do. Grow a garden in your community. Now, of course, winter months are going, so maybe you all put your money together and feed some families that don't have enough food to stretch, or tell everybody, hey, when you're grocery shopping, pick up a can of tuna or canned meat or something if you can afford it, because grocery prices are still skyrocket high. Pick up an extra canned good every time you go shopping. Something that we can do. So I hope that the people that organize it don't think I'm just saying it's wasteless. It's a pointless. No, I don't want that to come off. I just want people to get something tangible that they can do. Right? Make it something that we can actually do. Whether it's grow a garden, whether it's buying a extra canned good every time you go to the store, whether it's not buying Starbucks, which why you buying Starbucks in the first place, but I can't tell grown folks how to spend their money. But instead of Starbucks, make your own coffee, and with that money that you were having with that coffee, grow some chickens or get some eggs, do something, right? Something that we can do, right? Like I said, it's easy. You can, when you're, like I said, now that my car tire is not working and I have to order my food offline, I can order an extra canned good, put it aside, and say, hey, where can I donate these cans at? Obviously, I'm not going to donate one can to a food pantry. I'm going to wait until I get at least 10. Say, hey, where can I donate these at? Or let people know, hey, I got some cans, corn, carrots, tuna, baked beans, chicken and rice, chicken and dumplings, or whatever it is I choose to buy. I got some of them sitting here, meet me here, and I'll give them to you. We can do something, right? But sometimes people need direction in what they can do. And obviously, people, I'm not going to do this, but people need to highly consider running for office as third-party candidates. Don't you run under the Democrat Republicans. Don't you do that. Don't you do that. Because again, they're playing in your face. They're literally playing in your face. If you don't remember anything that I ever say, and I say that often, I pretty much say it every week, they're playing in your face. Stop letting them play in your face. I'm almost certain some congressperson was out at these protests talking about, well, the 2026 prime midterms are coming up. We can't wait till 2026. We got to do something now, right? We can't just hope things will get bad enough and people just get off the bed and vote. Voting is like the bare minimum you can do. It is bare minimum. Oh, and my tooth is swollen. That's why one face on my side, my face looks bad and the other doesn't. I have dental insurance through work, but I had to pay the first $1,000 because my dental plan is terrible. And y'all know I don't got money. Y'all know that's why my Cash App is right there. But don't cash, if you can't afford it, don't Cash App. But if you can, $ TRACYMedia 74. But we're gonna wrap this up. Hit that subscribe button. Smash it, destroy it, obliterate it. Support me on Patreon. Support my merchandise store. Follow me on Facebook. Please follow me on Rumble because I'm just one away on Rumble from podcasting live there. Hit me up on Blue Sky or follow me on Blue Sky. Mark your calendars, Friday, May the 2nd, 2025 at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I am sponsoring a channel fundraiser. My goal is to raise $700. The first $600 is for StreamYard charges. StreamYard has just recently almost doubled their fees. I cannot afford the fees. I don't want to see that little annoying duck return. So please help me to raise $700. The first $600 going towards StreamYard, the other $100 going towards my website that I hope to get back. And of course, help us to get 50 likes. I told you that number was going to go up in April. So April, May, and June, it'll stay right here, 50 likes and 35 shares. Tobias, remember to email me at, I'm coming down here. Email me there, Tobias, to get your free t-shirt. Congratulations, you won it. Absolutely, positively not. I explained yesterday why I refuse to run for an office that I know I can't win. I only go when I know I can win. And I'm not one for running for something that I know is not going to be productive. And I don't think I'm the best candidate. I actually have somebody else in mind, and I'm hoping that she does it because she'd be way better than I would be. But no. So thank you all for tuning in. I hope to have a much better week. I know I'm going to be okay. Thank you all for your prayers and the things that I'm going through. Pray that the water in my basement doesn't get increased, that I get a sump pump to get that water out, or somebody that has a sump pump out there that lives in the Indianapolis area that could like do it at no charge would be great. But I know I'm asking a lot, but hey, if you ask not, you receive not. Or the Bible says, if you have not because you ask not. Or wait a minute. You have not because you ask not. Yes. I'm getting a little rusty and I don't like that. But anyway, thank you all for tuning in. Have a fantastic evening. I will see you this Saturday. Regardless of whether my car is running or whether it's not. We'll get this water thing issued. We'll just keep moving. I'm going to keep moving towards positive. I realize that I am blessed, even though I'm having a lot of first world problems, and they are first world problems. And I just need to get over that. I still have roof over my head. I still have clothes on my back. I still have my utilities are on. I still got my insulin. So overall things are going well, but these minor setbacks are setbacks. But in everything, I'm going to remember that a setback is a set up for success. That's what I'm going to remember. So thank you all for watching. Have a good week. I'll see you Saturday, and I'm going to do the outro. Bye-bye.